That's it.
That's it? Plain
Yeah.
and simple?
Right, yeah.
네. 한국어로도 한번 대답을 해주실 수 있을까요?
일단 아박에서 졌던 거는 잘 다시 한번 봐야 될 것 같고 일단 그냥 싸움에서 진 것 같아서 네. 그렇게 그냥 그렇게 생각하고 있습니다.
간단하게 다시
네.
한번 보고 이제 이기면 되죠 뭐.
네.
네. And well, it's so nice to have someone who's bilingual. This is perfect. We saw a lot of few changes, new approaches that DRX has been trying out. Can we get some little spoilers on your waylay incoming?
일단 할 수도 있고 안 할 수도 있다. 그 정도까지만 말할게요.
아니 제가 질문을 영어로 여쭤봤는데 대답은 한국어로 하시면
저도 어떻게 답할지 헷갈려서.
웨이레이 스포를 이제 여쭤봤었는데 말할지 말지 일단 할 수도 말 수도.
네? 그 정도까지.
I asked him about the waylay spoilers and he said maybe, maybe not. So no spoilers from Hyunmin. Alright. 다음 상대 DFM입니다. Are you gonna have fun again?
Yeah. Just have fun. I love having fun.
It's crazy. 현민 선수 다음에 이제 DFM 경기와에서도 또 재미 한번 본다고 이야기를 해줬습니다. 1층에서 DRX 팬미팅 진행될 예정이니까 많이들 찾아주시고요. That's all from us on the stage. Make sure to stop by in the lobby for the DRX meet and greet. And thank you for joining me, Hyunmin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go.
What an exciting start to the day. 2-1 scoreline. DRX taking it home, finishing it on Lotus. Now this was really interesting. I can see why, or we can see why DRX were the champions of kickoff here in Pacific. And not only are they brought in new ideas and so on.
Yeah, on such a short time frame. Like both of these teams have definitely changed a lot since we saw them in kickoff, but DRX in particular, I mean, they must have been really under the pump. Coming off Masters, they've really showed how they can hit another gear. They've put Flashback into a secondary duelist role. I mean, at least on the Yoru, that's something he's had a couple of officials on, whereas the Neon, that was his first official on it. And then freeing more into a Senti role, which is something that I've said has been a comfort role for him in the past, but actually, he didn't have as good of a day today on some of the Sentis and things like that. Statistically, he's usually their most consistent player, but some of the other guys on DRX today did more of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, he did have big shoes to fill, and those shoes were his own shoes when he was on Teo. So it's hard to live up to that, but, you know, he did his job, he was solid, and they got the job done today. That's what matters. As you said, very impressive that they managed to change so much, but so dominant in the opening kills.
Again, even in the map they lost, and DRX has just been absolutely dominating in opening kills. And I saw for the series, despite not having a negative KD or anything, Forsaken overall was 8 and 18 in opening duels, -10. So you can talk all you want about the Waylay and things, but there, I mean, we've even seen plenty of clips of it where the Waylay is just double dashing in and donating a free kill. So, you know, it's a very fine line between creating a massive opening and creating a massive opening against your own team.
And there were a lot of these double dashes from Forsaken where he's doing it alone. It's just, like you said, maybe a faster way to die, unless you can manage to get that kill.
Maybe it needs to just be coordinated a little bit better with the util, especially when you're playing Breach Teo around it, which actually is the first time I saw Waylay played over in VCTCN, which was on Fracture with 2 Breach Teo comps, and I think that's really something where I saw like, oh, okay, you can really coordinate the ranged utility of a Breach and a Teo. If it's coordinated well with the Waylay, then it can be interesting.
Yeah, I do think that there was definitely some good Waylay ideas here. We don't want to write off Waylay after just one series. I think there's a lot more to the agent than that, but it does get very interesting when we compare it to the other duelists on the other side. DRX playing double duelist, and this is a huge strength of that composition if we see how they're able to just, you get a free win almost every time with this Yoru. It's so strong, gets the site for free, and we see how Hyunmin uses the Raze Hult here as well to close out that round later down the line. The Yoru and the Raze just present such powerful options compared to Waylay, especially when we're looking at their ultimates. So you don't really farm up on the Waylay in the same way, so it makes every kill on these Yoru or Raze seem more valuable than it necessarily does onto the Waylay.
I mean, the Dimensional Drift is just such an annoying ult to deal with. It can, exactly like you said, give you some freebies of rounds, and at the end of the day, Yoru is a pseudo init.
Yeah, but then we have the counter here, of course, which is the ideas that Waylay is able to bring. So we see the double dash into the insta refract and that kind of thing. So I do think there's a lot more scope for Waylay to end up working.
I mean, this is it,
Yeah.
right? There's
Yeah, that's
double
so
dash.
nice.
There's no other agent that can do that. I mean, the double dash into a refract, you clear the whole site, you get so much info. If you spot someone, then you basically get that info for free, and you see the rest of PRX going in. In terms of something that we always talk about on this map, I mean, that wasn't actually the clip I was thinking of. I didn't want them to include that one, because that's doing my boy Forsaken dirty with the double dash and just donating his life. That's an example of that. The clip that I was thinking of was when he double dashed up on top of rubble and avoided a lot of util, and we see that actually, you know, a lot of the movement mechanics, whether it's double satchel, Omen TP across, something like that to get out on attack. Waylay is another agent that can do exactly that, but this time with the get out of jail free card, you double dash and you're into, you know, double salvos or maybe a raise nade or something, then you just refract and give. And another deserving MVP for Hyunmin there. He's just insane as a rookie. He had a couple of rougher individual maps over at Masters, especially when they got eliminated, but for the most part, this guy's rock solid.
Yeah, he had a really wonderful map there. And then if we move across to our match MVP, he's going to take it as well, which is very well deserved. I feel like he played a great series the whole way through, and I think he has a lot to look forward to, even though, you know, there's this double duelist idea. No one's coming for his job quite yet. I think he really cemented himself as a fantastic young player in this duelist role. It's great to see him carry that through into stage 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well deserved. I think this was without a doubt had to be Hyunmin for the match MVP. But Mako there just standing strong. I mean, we've seen, you guys mentioned already, you know, somehow some of the other players on DRX not in their full form, but together as a team, absolutely solid. And Mako, of course, still being King Mako, and just being the solid rock for that team, cleaning up the mess if there are any mistakes making. So yeah, our champions continue forth. They will be facing DFM next, and PaperX are going to face Gen G next week. So that's also going to be another exciting weekend. But right after this, because we have one more match today, we have another very exciting one. It's going to be Talon with their brand new roster and going against Team Secret to see what they've cooked up. So guys, don't go too far away.
Oh, Pulsar by Naomi. Pulsar by Jenny.
Oh, baby. Ooh, there it is. Oh, I'm so happy with it.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
And it even has my name on the side.
마우스 누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고. Thanks, Joshua. This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me. It's by me.
It's by me. It's by me. It's Pulsar by you.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Ain't no off season. Summer, winter, fall, ball all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season. All season. All season. Summer, winter, fall, ball all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season. Ain't no off season. Why would I go take a season off? This my boss season. I had to clock in and clock out a lot though. Couldn't just come out on top when I wanted to. I had to sit in the heat like a pot roast. Produce a beat and made a couple knots. They taking a shortcut, I'm taking shots. Can't go pull on no slot. I'm trying to pull off a miracle. DJ scratch it for me. He could have been scratching the cereal. I can't just listen to everybody. Some of that stuff be ethereal. Never was the man of the hour. I don't do this for show. Arsenio fiending. All my partners, they been fiending where I'm going. I can't leave overachieving. What is that? Got them projects on my back. I can't go back to who I was. Got a score on 4th and 1. As long as I look back and see the folk I love, I can't be done. Mama told me everybody ain't my homie. I grew up in harsh conditions. I can't let it slow me. I need get back, pay back, and back in. I really owe me. Never was in the show and tell. You gotta show me. Ain't no off season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season. All season. All season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season.
Ballin'. Ain't no days off, I'm going all in. All season, they like Lowry's, they salty. I've been in the gym putting in work, that's why they trust me. Every verse clean, so they reaction like it's musty. Cause every ball stank face, you gon' wanna press rewind. Hold your breath when Derek snap. You don't wanna miss a line, I'm on fine. I got bread, that's burnt toast. Butane and I burn slow. Bossed up my money straight like a that's too easy. Don't compare me unless it's Yeezy or Wheezy. My neck look like Fiji, my people out on TV. I can't stop the wave until they pockets look like seaweed. Hold up, wait. Hustle people hate. Just like plastic surgery, my G, it ain't no saving face. Thought that I was falling off, that shot is just a fadeaway. GOD, my saving grace. You don't like my attitude, that's bad for you. We on top like all season.
Ain't no all season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no all season. It's all season. All season. All season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season. Ain't no off season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season. First one in, last one leaving. Ain't no off season. It's all season. All season. All season. Summer, winter, fall, ball, all season.
Welcome back to VCT Pacific Stage 1. This is Victoria, joined by Pilski and Big Time. Just finished a very exciting first match of today, but now we have a very exciting match 2. The very first time we are going to be seeing Talon finally, after a long time, a full Thai roster. And they are redefining the power of friendship, as all of these guys have been friends for a really long time. And of course, we have Cruz here guiding them as their big brother. Yeah, he's got so much veteran experience at this point. He's been part of so many different Thai lineups. And I think, you know, we've got some younger players being picked up. I think Thai in particular coming off of the academy team is going to be a player to keep your eye on. Kilua coming off of both Full Sense and Made in Thailand. You know, one of these up and coming players in the Thai scene. And even Primi, like, where he was picked up from, you know, out of relative obscurity, it's very clear the direction that Talon is going. They are not going for the known entity Thai players, but really kind of betting on some of the young talent in the Thai scene instead.
Yeah, I really like it. You know, they're trying to build moving forward, and it's great how much synergy all these players have between each other. Friendship is something that is a sort of underrated part of team performance. You know? Yeah, you're saying
That's true.
The long-term success, you gotta love the people around you.
He doesn't have friends.
Yeah,
That's why he says that.
No, not really.
That's why our chemistry is so bad on the desk. I just hate it, really. But it's really great to see. I really like that the organization are trusting kind of the players in this to let them lead it. Of course, Primi is at that helm. We can see they're #1 in terms of KD, a real superstar in the making. And it's clear now he has a supporting cast around him that he can trust and he knows very, very well. Now they will be facing off Team Secret. Team Secret, full Filipino squad. We know all of them at this point. This full squad, Wild Oreo was the latest to join. The end of last year.
fantastic addition to this team, along with Coach Meow, of course, from our Ascension team, Boom, also last year. So this has been a very interesting change in terms of the coaching and how things might have changed, perhaps internally instead.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not seeing big outside changes. We saw a lot of teams make moves after kickoff, and Secret was kind of a team where we could have expected that, but they decided not to. But after a loss, you're not going to change nothing, you know? There's going to be some differences here. It might be roles, it might be play style, different, you know, coaching from last year will have a sort of impact, even if it is slightly delayed and it's going to kick in more after kickoff. So we need to see some reinvention here to get them out of that middle of the table stagnation that they've been in for a little bit now.
Yeah, 9th to 12th is not the result that they would have wanted, but now we're back into kind of this more round-robin format where they're going to get a chance to play everyone. I think, you know, Coach Meow in the content that Chobra was doing alluded to the fact that he felt like he tried to change too much too fast going into kickoff and change a couple of roles, and they've had a little bit more, maybe more time to practice and find what works for them and find how the coach can maybe assist the team here for Team Secret. But it goes without saying, it's an underwhelming start to the year over in kickoff, especially being one of the teams that didn't change coming in from last year. You wanted to see them have really good lead-in time. They didn't participate in as many off-season events. They did very well winning the first map in both of their series in kickoff, but then just got dominated in reverse sweep fashion. So I'm hoping for better things here in stage 1.
Definitely. They've just, like you said, stagnating in that middle of the pack for so long, and they probably want to break through. Talon was also in that position for a while and have finally broken through. And it looks like they're going to hopefully upgrade even more. I don't want to say anything about Ban or Governor, but obviously they made these changes for a reason. A large part were the comms on the team.
Yeah.
Cruz had to do the craziest thing and had to translate in the middle of games whenever there's a timeout. That just eats into precious time when you're playing attack FPS. That's so critical. So with the addition here, we were talking about Killua coming from Myth, absolute firepower there, then joining Full Sense, very consistent across the board. And Thai, Frost has spoken very highly of him during interviews, so I think this might be the complete set.
Yeah, I think for Thai, I mean, I was even talking to Frost about it just before this game, and he said he was picked up from the academy team because he did very well in scrims, you know, inter-scrims between the academy team and the main team, as well as a lot of simulations where, you know, maybe you're running a certain strat and someone has to hold down the site. He's able to defend against the Talon main team, and that gives the coaching staff a lot of confidence that he's going to do well. His last 3 games as well in VCL SEA, he was the top performer for Talon Academy, so he's in some good form. He's on a bit of a purple patch. For Killua, a very flexible player coming in from Made in Thailand. He's played a lot of Jet in his career and was kind of a player that came up playing the duelist, but since joining some of the bigger Thai squads in Tier 2, he was actually known to be quite flexible. In fact, I was even looking at some best of 5 series where he's playing 5 different agents across 5 maps and multiple different roles.
Yeah, that's great to see. I mean, I think that is a real success story of the academy team, you know. It gives Talon a real edge, being able to practice against their own academy. You can try different things. It also adds another great path to Tier 1 if you're able to get onto an academy and you move your way up in exactly the way he's done. It's really great to be able to see that transition from Tier 2 to Tier 1.
And our IGLs, Cruz and Jesse Vash. We know them so well at this point, and I have to say, they've been through the highs and lows of their team. They've been given a lot of crap, frankly speaking, as, you know, been inconsistent with their fragging, but there have been so many reasons why. But they have so much experience under their belt, and it's so important how they are going to lead their teams.
These are the defining players of the team in terms of intangible factors. For Cruz, he's still going to have to translate. He's still going to have to be the point of contact between the coaching staff and the rest of the team when it comes to timeouts, when it comes to the overall direction and identity of the team. So we'll see how that goes in terms of, you know, Cruz's responsibility. He did have a big map or 2 as well in kickoff. Jesse Vash, I remember he aced. And I was like, I was thinking like, I'm pushing 30 and I'm not hitting shots like that. So he seems to have still got it from time to time. And I think he was the best performing player for Team Secret, maybe at least statistically, in that last kickoff.
The oldest and the best performing. And, you know, he said it. He's posted on his Twitter before that, you know, it's not even about age, it's about consistent practice. And that's the thing that kind of drops off with age over time is that practice. And as a map ban comes through, Secret is going to be starting with Pearl. I think that is where Jesse Bash had that ace. Maybe
Yeah.
going to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, they were really backing themselves with Pearl going into kickoff as well, so not much has changed there. Fracture for Talon is an interesting one. I mean, Ascent getting taken out as well as Lotus. I think for Pearl and Fracture, both of these teams are picking maps that the other team hasn't really shown or hasn't really played very much, so they're trying to push the other team into uncomfortable territory, and then Haven to be the decider there.
Yeah, for me, I'm quite interested in seeing Team Secret ban Ascent. I remember back in my day when I'm playing against Team Secret, way back when,
I was thinking the same.
They were notorious on Ascent. You know, it was really a map that they really excelled, and you know, the core is still kind of the same. So I was kind of hoping they would pick Ascent. I thought we'd finally get to see it, but no, they ban it out. So I wonder what's different.
And even their Pearl comp is Ascent-esque. It's like almost the same comp that you would like. Look at that. That's an Ascent comp. You just got Omen instead of Astra. They play, and on their Abyss comp was the same as like the Ascent comp as well. Like stylistically, that is a map that should fit their team, and that is a map that I remember them being known for. I mean, I tried to dive back into the stats going back through the majority of last year, and I don't really think that I saw the numbers that convinced me of that, but I remember them having that reputation as well.
Now, what I'm also really interested in is because I have to say, when it comes to Southeast Asia, Filipinos, Indonesians, and Thais have the most insane raw firepower. So now that we have really crisp shooting, this is what I'm really looking forward to. Predictions, I can see that we've mostly all gone for Talon. Mika, of course, doing the Filipino pick.
No bias. No bias.
No bias at all. But, I mean, largely, at least for me, they came into 4th place, and that says a lot, whereas Secret hasn't made a lot of changes.
Yeah, we have to go on what we know here. Talon had a good kickoff, and it seems like they've upgraded from their core. Secret, things are staying the same, and it was a poor finishing kickoff. So it's hard to predict Secret, but they've had a lot of time, so I want to see how they're going to change and make it work.
I think this is all what we want to see from both of these teams, and I'm very excited to see the first appearance of Talon and Team Secret for Stage 1.
...2025 VCT Pacific, Stage 1. Rise Pacific. Talon.
This team, Talon Esports, has been steadily climbing, each change bringing them closer to victory, qualifying for Champions 2024 and securing a top 4 finish twice in Pacific. But meanwhile, on the other side, Team Secret has always had that potential, yet they have yet to take that same leap to break out of the middle of the pack. Is today gonna be the day? It's really hard to say. Talon looks more confident than ever.
They do, and I'm really excited about their new changes. I think a lot of people have been waiting for Talon to have this full tie identity. I'm really interested to see what the roles are going to be. I mean, they picked up a controller player. That, to me, signals that you're going to see a lot more of Jit Boys in a hard sentinel role. For Primi, he was playing a little bit of everything. I think you're probably going to see him more on Duelist in this current roster, unless Kalua's going to play a little bit more Duelist like he did when he was on the come-up. So the roles are very interesting to keep an eye on for Talon, for me.
Yeah, we've got to wait and see. Team Secret, the roles are not going to be a mystery here. I wonder what Jesse Vash is going to play on this map, guys.
Duelist.
Duelist, I hope so.
I think the key thing with both of these teams is they want more out of their time in Pacific. 4th is good for Talon, but it's not on the podium. 9th to 12th, terrible for Secret, for a team and an organization that's been to champions. So their resurgence starts here, map 1 of stage 1.
And despite the predictions, it is not unwinnable for Secret.
Absolutely
Talon
not.
have changed a lot. Secret have changed very little. They're going to go onto a map that they've been backing themselves on, even going back to kickoff. This is a very winnable series for Secret.
Absolutely. While we are really excited for a full tie squad right now, 2 of those guys are rookies when it comes to this Pacific stage. Yes, Killua played on this, during SVL, but it's a little bit different when you are playing with the big boys, pretty permanently here in Pacific.
Yep.
So I think this can be the time for Team Secret to really make their mark, to take advantage of, wow, we got someone all the way from Colombia. That's
so
crazy.
far.
That's crazy.
How long is that flight? You know there's an America's League?
I mean, she came to the better one. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, why would you bother going to that one at the end of the day? I agree with you, not only like being fresh to the stage though, but now you're going onto a fresh map as well. There's going to be a lot for Talon to look into. Pearl is not a map that we've seen too much from them, so Secret may be forcing them into a little bit of uncomfortable territory. For Secret, this is not a map that has gone particularly well for them. A couple of times that they played it, a couple of times that they backed themselves in series, but they really feel like they can make it work this time. So we'll see as well if the composition is going to change up at all. They really used to, like I said, that kind of Ascent-esque comp, and here it is. There you go. For Talon though, I'm more so focusing on them. Double init, and once again we're going to see, like I said, Jit Boys on more of a Senti role, and Primi is on Duelist.
It's great to see Primi back on Duelist. This is something people have asked for a long time, but Team Secret bringing out that chamber. We've seen it before on Pearl, paired up with Vice, a double Sentinel, as well as you have a lot of these flashes to play around with. This is a very interesting, tricky comp, I would say.
Well, Jesse Vash still remaining solid on that Sova. We're going to go to the very first map of Pearl, and to take it away, we've got Komodo and Quack.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dusk, once again. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one, isn't it? We have the full Thai squad versus the full Filipino squad, but also slight change-ups in the compositions. Any thoughts do you might have?
I really like it because you've got the installments where on the side of Talon, we've had a couple of these players play together quite so many years ago. So I think you've already got a little bit of chemistry in these little duos that we can play on towards as well, and some similar roles. I think we're going to highlight Primi on Yoru coming back onto this is going to be really good. But for me, I'm interested to see how Cruz is technically going to be shifting from the breach fade in towards the Tejo here.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something to keep
off.
on. I mean, just having that information to work alongside the team, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit more comfortable for him now. Being able to lead the whole full Thai squad,
ขึ้นสตรีมยังวะ
coming in Thai as well.
ไม่คือเน็ตมันพังครับผมคือเน็ตที่แคมป์จะมีสองอันคือจะมีค่ายแดงกับค่ายส้มสวัสดีครับผมสวัสดีครับ
Internally, how's that all going to play out today? We're seeing the changes in the composition, but is it sound?
Well, I think more importantly as well, what we saw yesterday in the games as well was a little bit of weaknesses for a composition that Team Secret are going to be running, the G2S style, right? So you're going to have some strengths in the mid to late rounds, and there was a weakness yesterday. So if you're looking at Team Secret,
เน็ตมันพังครับ
go into this game with a little bit of that plan, because Pearl, I don't think this is a map that they would have expected Talon to be picking.
At least for now, they'll be looking heads on, heads up towards B. Too much found just yet, though. And also, Shearwall being instantly tripped. Just for information, at least for now. Meanwhile, on the other end, Cruz continuing to jiggle back and forth. Nothing found just yet either. It's a lot of
มันโยก
control
ไป A หมด
out
แล้ว
from
มันโยกไป
Talon
A หมดแล้วเอ้ย
area.
ไอ้2ตัวบาท
excuse me, as well as Team
ที่
Secret
แคมป์
that
มี
picked this one. So
3 ค่าย
there is a
แล้ว
game
พี่
plan for
เพิ่ง
them.
ติด
So that would further
เอาจริงจังแล้วจริงจังจะโฆษณาทำไมวะ
kind of expect
Huh?
you, which right now is
Jijang!
waltzing towards the A site, seeing that no one's home, and your wall isn't tripped. So do you have an idea that they've actually gone in towards main?
Maybe not.
จริงจังจะโฆษณาทำไม
Taking the initiative, Komodo, to push all the way into spawn.
A little bit too much though. Look how far they're going. They really want to clear this one out. The wall will be eventually tripped and it'll bring them back, but no one on Talon has actually got towards the site yet.
I wouldn't
สวย
mind
ผ
this
มต้อง
too
สี
much
เขียวนะ
though. If they are able to find Cruz with that many players,
เพื่ออยากเปลี่ยนสลับ
that's,
พี่เปลี่ยน
you
แน่
take those salvos away. But Cruz now tucks himself neatly into a corner, so he keeps those salvos online. Meanwhile, the rest of the team from Talon has to march back in from main. They managed to do just that. Still,
ขี้ขวาก็สุดไป
dugout. There is a bit of contention. Jesse Bash still pretty
เรียบร้อย
much
ครับ
alive, at least until
ที
Jeremy
มตัว
comes
แทนหนึ่งเดียวในไทยของเรา
to support him, and that's
แต่
when
พ่าย
we
ปืน
start
พ
being
ก
picked up by Team Secret.
Strange one.
แต่ตอนที่มีไอ้แบรนด์มีโกโบนอนี่ชนะปืนพกตลอดนะ
All the way the A side,
แปลกๆนะครับ
you kind of waltz in towards your opponent's spawn, and then eventually you focus on back. And
ไอ้เหี้ยให้กูพูดออกสตรีมบ้างปะ
is a nice idea.
ชื่อทีมมันอะเอาไหมเดี๋ยวผมพูดมาจังโอเคไหมเดี๋ยวพี่จะบวกแล้วนะเดี๋ยวพี่จะบวกกันนะเอาไง
It was a
กูปั่น
nice
นะ
twist around that idea to come out, but it gets a little bit awkward at the end there when Jesse Bash is going for those right clicks with the classic too.
เดี๋ยวพี่
So
เปิดเลยไหม
crossfire in
เอาปะ
towards your now any eco round.
ให้พี่เปิดเลยไหม
Play towards the depths at the moment. You'll play towards just numbers towards this B side.
Sure, range as well, given the weaponry. So Team Secret working alongside B main. They do spot a player or two.
อย่าเอ้าติ่มอีกแล้วโอ๊ยเซ็งว่ามี CEO ติ่ม
That's a lot of space now that Team Secret can work with, but at the same time, maybe some slight footsteps in towards A
กลัว
main.
เว้ยจังขี้กลัวเว้ย
At least nothing too much from either side.
Yeah, and just in this eco round as well, Killua still holding both prowlers.
Yeah,
Generally
but
using
le-
them, you know, thrown in towards A main if you are going to challenge over towards that area. Or haunts and seas that have already been used. So just
Oi!
numbers at the moment.
Oi.
Pistols quack to find a little bit of damage.
Yeah, at least working.
เปิดเลยป่ะ
Team Secret
เหี้ย
at the
แม่ง
same time. I mean,
แม่ง
they're the ones, you know, not
แม่งหยาม
fully
ทีม
committing
กู
to
เกิน
either
ไอ้
side.
สัตว์
Despite the
เหี้ยกู
information
อินอยู่นะเว้ยตอนเนี้ย
just kind of challenging the pistols, trying to take as much as away as possible.
เอ้ย
And it's just
ไอ้ลำว่า
utilizing
จี
the
จัง
time
กลัวยัง
quite
ตอนเนี้ย
nicely as well to
จี
see
จัง
if
กลัว
there's
ยัง
gonna
เดี๋ยว
be
อีกสักพักนึงอ่ะ
shenanigans,
เดี๋ยว
let Talon
เดี๋ยวส่ง
overthink
เฟซมาหากู
things
แล้ว
a
พี่
little
บ้าน
bit
อย่าพูด
potentially, which right now, I mean, a 3 versus 3 when you've gone into this round with classics, you're starting to feel okay in terms of damage.
Yeah, just a bit. Not too bad. Thai, though, does pick up the Bulldog, and that is a little bit of damage against Jeremy. 3 guns already robbed away. Jesse Vash will clean things up at the end, but you still have to wonder how this, you know, echoes throughout the other rounds on this map.
Yeah, when you're going in towards your gun round now as Talon and your bonus is looking like a Vandal and an Outlaw to be carried on over, how much are you putting behind that, right? Are you getting another rifle? Are you just saying, okay, we lost a little bit too much in that previous round. We'll just play with some pistols and maybe go for a little bit more of a mundane push together as a unit of 5.
โอ้
Something to definitely wonder
เฮีย
about in the upcoming round.
ไอ้เฮียเหรอไอ้เฮียเจอร์มี่หน้าแม่งตึงจัดอะแล้วแม่งสวยแล้วไงทารอนอะ
Outlaw
ไทย5นะ
hands of envy.
ไทย5นะ
Light shields on the other side.
ยังไงยังไง
Talon are indeed reinforcing everything.
ยัง
with
ไง
heavy shields, a quick default setup all across the map.
Well, Thai has to be really careful here if he oversteps because there's a lot of bodies and he would
ยังไง
have
ครับ
a bailout strategy really.
Quick shoulder peek though, so he's okay for now, and instantly puts up that smoke, the nebula to block things off. At the same
เดี๋ยว
time,
นี้ไม่มีเพื่อนบอสปาร์ตี้ด้วยกันแล้วเหรอ
Yeah, getting information.
เพื่อนกูแยกย้ายกันไปอยู่คอนโดหมดแล้ว
Having a bit of a spot in towards mid doors as well.
just as we mentioned,
เพื่อนน้องๆกูแยกย้ายกันไปอยู่คอนโดหมดแล้วตอนนี้
coming out
กูอยู่คนเดียวอะที่แคมป์อะ
Bit of an arc row setup as well, but it's going to be Jeremy in with
เลิกคบกันแล้วเหรอ
three-dimensional drift.
ไม่ครับมันติด
Gather
หี
further information. Bit of a flash coming out, and he's trying to catch Jit.
เฮ้ย
Clone kind of ignored, but still damage found. Killua in with the trade just to try to hold around.
สวยนะ
Yeah, it's nicely done, but what do you look to do now? You've got 2 players still coming up from the sewers in towards an arc crunch, and you do also have Thai playing in the back of dugout. Some smokes towards the site start to happen though.
Okay, at least the salvo will get sent through.
ที่กล้องคม
And
จัด
as
ของ
soon
ดี
as the salvo gets sent out, TUG thinks that that's where the tail might be positioned. Lo and behold, it's just going to be Killua watching the angle. So a good kill being picked up. as well as the Prowler, just to check closer back to
King!
Talon
Wow,
trying to do
that
their
team.
due diligence, but at the same time, Envy has his sights trained
เฮ้ย
in
ดู
to the
ดู
site.
เจสซี่วาดดิดูดิ
Still though, okay,
Do
Thigh
they?
kind of sneaking past, but Jesse Bash has snuck up right
เก่
behind
ง
him as
โอ้
well.
โห
Good
แย่
little
แล้วไง
flash out,
โดน
and
โบ
that's
นั
gonna
ส
be another pick. Team Secret working alongside the numbers now. Talon might have the sight, but a bit of a tap is not going to be enough.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Drops on
โอ้
over. Swings along a
ไอ้
swivel.
เหี้ย
Full turret mode for the
คุม
ace.
คุมดิไงครับตัวคุมดิ
That is a point blank.
ไอ้สัตว์
Headhunter missing
หมดแม็
every
ก
single shot, and he's not even looking at you.
ใครวะ
Killer, welcome to VCT Pacific. Welcome to your first round win and an ace.
ไวโอริโอ
Round 3,
แง่ง
too.
แง่งแง่ง
Where
แง่
there
ง
was a dimensional drift to come on through for all of the information that you would expect in the beginning
โอ้โห
from
ไอ้
the
สัต
side
ว์
of Team Secret. Jeremy
ที่
trying to
รั
do
ว
what he
เปิด
can.
ตัวนะ
Great
เปิดตัว
range
ทารอน
in the
ด้วย
comfort
เอ
of
ทแรกของ
Bash
ทัวร์นาเมน
as
ต์
well. I thought
ใช่ปะ
Lightning
เอทแรก
would
เปล่าวะ
strike in this round for Team Secret, but no.
Not quite. I was wondering where that chamber was, or if Waldor was going to find it towards the end, but still not quite. And that is just the talented Thai players that we have in this region. You know, all the way throughout FW Esports, maybe Full Sense, made in Thailand, even at times, they're just all so familiar with each other, and they are comfortable on this stage. Still, though, the next round coming up, and that's Team Secret trying to fight their way back in. They have the buys. Right now, at least, not quite the space.
Yeah. Bit of a contest though towards B Long at the moment, and Talon really wanted to win
แล้ว
this
เขาได้
one,
พื้น
and
ที่
they'll
ไว
do so
นะ
successfully. I mean,
เลือกทิ้ง
sending a bit of
เลื
a
อกทิ้งให้
rotate
คิวไว้
mid.
คนเดียวแล้วรู้
Quite
เลย
open at the moment though.
อุ้ย
You
เล่น
say
ดี
they're
เล่นดี
not
เพลงนี้
falling
เล่นดีมาก
back a
ตัดสิน
little
ใจ
bit
ดี
as
มากครับ
Talon wouldn't mind them just seeing holding on to
คือ
a
ทาง
lot
เดียว
of their utility and
ต้องเข้า
they want
ตรง
to
กลางแล้ววิ่งไป
push a
บีอ่ะ
switch
นั่นแหละ
in
บี
towards
แตก
Really. I have to imagine, though.
แต่ถ้าเกิดเลือกจบ A คือที่ผ่านมีควย
The fact that they've all been teammates at one
จบ
point
ครับ
or another, perhaps except for Cruz.
จบครับ แล้วถ้าเกิดเลือก
There is
เข้า A
quite
อย่าง
a
นี้
bit
คือ
of
แพ้แน่นอน
comfort, a bit of
ทาง
morale
ทีม
boost
ซี
on
เค
the
ท
side as
คือ
well. Meanwhile, you can see how they're all flowing together, comsing together on the team. They're already reading this push coming out from Team Secret. So
และเจเร
even
มี่
with
นะ
the spike getting tapped in, the Nightfall instantly sent out. Prowler just to check. We're looking at a potential peek pretty soon. Bit of a flash, blindside out. The clone just to check. The crosshair placement. Waldario at least will redeem himself from the previous round with a double kill, but Permi fires back with an outlaw as well. Towards our boys taking further position away from Team Secret.
น้าไม่เอาเลยดิ
To try to march up. Envy though pulls off a bit of a spin of his own and goes to a Beyblade.
ไอ้น้าอุตส่าห์ไม่เอา
Lays down his opponents in a moment of glory.
Yeah, you definitely need to see a couple of those Talon members have their head on a swivel though and spin around.
โอ้น้าอุตส่าห์ปล่อยไก่ให้แล้วว่า
Really come on out, and you're looking at them give up a lot of space.
นั่นเจ๊ดอะ
mid, give up the territory of A to play towards a retake because you have the Nightfall.
นั่นเจ๊ด
right?
ลูกสองป่าวะตอนนี้นั่นเจ๊ดอะ
Through as well. That just buys a lot more time for Team Secret to establish themselves in the site, and then they're layering some more of their own utility to stave off any sort of retake. So nicely done from Team Secret. They'll be met with the eco of Talon right now, and for Wild Oreo, it's very wise to get out the outlaw as well, specifically on a chamber. You want to see good proficiency from him with the snipers too.
That's what he has in his hands. The outlaw at least just to mark down mid.
ขอบคุณสำหรับรับครับผม baby
The way that they're carefully, tactically working across the map. Talon though, on towards the pistols, trying to get a little bit cheeky outside of A main, but instantly deterred, shall we say, back in towards mid.
Yeah, just all kind of grouping together at the moment through double doors. See if these pistols can just tap away.
The outlaw that taps away instead, Komodo.
Not bad. Not bad. Still going for a bit of a challenge though.
You know, whenever we get multi-kills
Yeah,
like
you
this, I
thought I
feel
did.
like I turn into the Count from Sesame Street. Nonetheless, it still is going to be Talon backing in towards the A site, looking for further positioning. But with that many kills, or deaths at least, going down towards mid, Team Secret basically read in towards the B site.
What I see when you're in a round against an eco like this and you've got 3 kills is an ace hunt.
Ooh. Oh,
30 seconds left.
possibly hunting for some Webbits. We'll see if Talon gives them the chase or not. At the very least, possibly setting up for some exits, maybe.
I wouldn't have thought that you'd like
ไอ้เหี้ยโกวานอยิ้มนะเด็กไอ้แบนบอก
That feels
ไม่
like
ใช่ guys
cannibalism, hunting my own brethren. I don't know.
Well, just the tail end of this round. No ace going to be achievable for Wild Oreo, but there is some damage at least at the end of this one for Talon. They're going to get some dollar-y dues. There's going to be an ult available in the next round. More importantly,
บัสทำไมเราไม่ตีม
the Team Secret are starting to find
น้องไปทำธุระครับน้องไปทำธุระ
Oh yes, very much so. Ultimates online, kills being found.
พอดีน้องลำไปทำธุระครับ
And you can see that they're
น้องลำติด
not just working alongside the composition, but also trying to work alongside the
ใช่ครับผม
map and the strats where they're just trying to stay, I guess, disciplined. You know, not really fully committing too early on.
Yeah, well, one of the strengths from this comp that Team Secret are going to be running is just making sure that utility is
ถูกครับ
right.
ธุระเสร็จแล้วพรุ่งนี้เจอกัน แล้วธุระหลายรอบด้วยปัญหานะ
having the initiative to make sure there's
ไอ้
a
ลำ
bit
อะ
of a backup plan if that goes a little bit haywire.
อุ้ย
Okay. But then Sniper being found on the other side as well. So that's Premi on the op. Instantly gate crashes into safety, receiving contact towards the towards A main as well then. Talon continues to spread their wings across the map, covering a lot of it with their wingspan.
Yeah, new recruits getting the job done over towards A.
ผมจัดอะคนชอบสไตล์การเล่น
Put
ทารอน
in a bit of utility as well, just after the fact, to clear out the full position. Prowler gets its job done, you reset with two-player advantage, and now you really need to see Team Secret dig deep individually to get back in towards this round, and it's one of these positions where you kind of need to give your opponents in Team Secret the jewels to win, and well, that's exactly what happens. Dai gives them the jewel, he loses it. Now might be achievable for Team Secret.
Possibly, you know, if you're talking about individual greatness, you would gamble that it's down to these two players, Jeremy as well as Jesse Vash, the Unk, who got almost, well, or practically an ace back from kickoffs. Still in the same spot, he does find that kill. But off of that, thinking that that one kill might have pulled some rotations over, to head back into the B site where Primi has his crosshairs zeroed in.
Yeah.
The headshot, but then a crouch peek out from Jeremy to find the headshot right back.
มันยิงไวเกินว่ะ
Crews arriving on scene as well. Can they do it? It is all down to Jeremy. He has to find Fred. He does find the opener. Onto the next, and Armageddon sent through as well, but he gets the spike down just in the nick of time. Dimensional drift away to find Killua. Does figure out where he is. Continues to toy with his position, and Killua, having the ace from before, feeling confident, but now feeling the pressure in towards Halls. Where could they be? Finds the first, and then sidesteps away from the next. He knows exactly where Jesse Vash is. He wins this time! Talon, Killua!
Again and again!
Everyone on the server once again.
Doing that one, didn't he? From the starting of the round, when you start to lose your teammates, versus 3 situation where I'm looking at what's happening with the creep up.
รู้ยังว่าทำไมแพงอ่ะ A
little bit ill-advised, you know. I've also seen that there is technically a dimensional drift available earlier on if they wanted to quickly use that one in. You've got, you know, sub 30 seconds, yeah, but is that enough time to throw in to try and establish plans and everything? There's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas in a round such as this, but I think more importantly, everybody's trying to bring forward a round, but they don't necessarily need to. So reeling it in for a couple of players is what you're going to see in a round such as this. An early challenge from Primi, but not going too far forward.
Oh yeah, just holding up around the doors, but at the same time, the art. Okay, Primi instantly deletes 2GE, but that's the go signal from Team Secret.
And now it's going to be the pause from Talon. They've got the advantage. They don't actually need to push forward and give the fight over to Team Secret.
Hence, Thai just kind of holding out towards Dugout for now. Repositions in towards Secret and spots Jeremy. Tap. A second tap on towards Envy's skull. And that's going to be Jesse Vash trying to regress back in from main, from stairs. Is it going to be enough though? Not quite. The spike's down in the dirt. Wild Oreo with an op at this range. It's just a little bit too tough. Primi, who already has his crosshairs scoped in, will be the one to find the round for Talon.
Quite readable as far as Talon are concerned as well. When the first pick is found and the Prowler goes out through art, they start to get overwhelmed in it. So just falling on back, knowing that Team Secret are going to go in towards the A site, and then it's just very sharp gunplay to come out from Thai, getting those 2 kills, everything falling in order for the rest of the team where they are just standing and delivering.
Just happens so much, and it really, you know, brings to question how Team Secret might be feeling in their heads right now, because it's some of these rounds where playing reserve, they actually find success. Then playing aggressive, they kind of start to falter a bit. But as soon as they play even more reserve, that's where Primi gets away with daylight robbery like this. Primi Gets the kill, Cruz for the next, Wild Oreo for the trade.
ได้
A
ตัว
lot
ส
of
โมกมา
space
คุมแล้ว
afforded around the A side, and great reads being pulled out by Talon. Look at the minimap. Fies, the Jit Boys, he's circling all the way around from behind, and the longer the Team Secret takes, the more space that he gets to cover. Primi back in with the up, and that's the second kill for the guy.
Well, Dimensional Drift, a minute left on the clock, and he's going to throw a little bit of worry towards the side of Team Secret, pinging out both of them. But this is just buying time for that flank that you mentioned here, getting your teammate onto the line. Thai's going to come out from Flowers as well. Oh, wow, this is not what you would expect in this situation. Just down to Jit Boys, guns removed, and they know where he's coming from.
Being able to turn an unwinnable scenario right back, but okay, his own Steel Garden right back against his opponents. They just kind of get out of dodge though.
Yeah.
And that's where you gotta wonder, it's not
Boy,
gonna be enough.
Jit Boy
needs to kind of triangulate where they might be and look for the isolated duels. Unexposed duels as well, but look at how quick and fleet-feeted. He's able to find that shot to bring a round up for Team Secret.
Yeah, it's a 3 versus 2 that Team Secret are able to convert when the plant, you know, is the kind of priority at that position when you're in towards the A site. Really well done from them, not able to not fussed by the dimensional drift that is coming on out. Because you expect in those positions, right? Primi dancing around the site, calling for his team, where they are, what you need to do. Right, but yeah, really well done from Team Secret to be able to win that one and keep the lead on this attacking side. They'll counter out on towards an eco around here, and you just kind of ultimates that you're starting to get towards again.
You kind of like it.
Yeah.
Slowly course correcting. You know, not too aggressive and back in towards mid.
And it is the mid to late round that this composition really needs to kind of find its footing in and showcase its strengths towards.
Whoa. Okay, well, mid to late round. At least the opening pick. Oh, wow. Goes the way of Wild Oreo at that range as well.
มันพูดว่าอะไรมันพูดเหมือนแบบ grow up แบบโตขึ้นได้แล้วแบบอะไรสักอย่างแบบพวกมึงอ่ะแต่เขาแบบว่ามันเป็นคำพูดแบบที่แบบว่า
back into A. Thai has always been playing that position. They're looking to challenge him.
คือแสดงว่าโดนไอ้พวกทีมนี้บ่อย
Envy finds another.
Great patience from Team Secret. Just against the eco, playing in towards the deeper lines. You know that it is the pistols now as well, so you kind of start to shift towards the A site, get all the information as 2G. It's not too difficult of a rounds to kind of play towards for Team Secret on the beginning.
ทำไมส่งมันสู้ได้แต่ทำไมมันสกอร์มันห่างจังวะ
30 seconds left.
นึกว่าบิดไปแล้วครับเปล่าครับผม
Talon though. Still just trying to look for any potential pickup.
สวัสดีครับผมสวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับ
Would be an off point or two for Primi.
จบสกอร์ไม่ได้นะ
A little bit quiet from the fella just for now. Bit of a simple flick from Thai, at least, but still 2G cleans things up.
Yeah, you want to kind of see Talon fall back onto what was working in the previous roster before Killer and Thai joined, right? There's still a core 3 that you can kind of, it takes a couple of plans out. You know, with the timing between kickoff and adding these players as well, that you're not going to have too much to kind of reinvent the whole team, right? So you see a couple of roles change for sure, but you're still going to have a lot of these fundamental game plan plays that you have on this defensive side, right? Some mid takes, some A takes, some B long takes and everything. Feels like right now we want to get a little bit of involvement and maybe rest back on something a little bit more tried and tested, right? Because a lot of these rounds at the moment, they're not getting an opening or they're getting an opening, and then it's Team Secret who are doing a lot better at adjusting in these rounds and slowing it down.
ขอบคุณสำหรับซับนะครับผมขอบคุณมากครับ BBQ โปเต้
We are seeing how Primi's player mid doors a lot, or maybe even a player inside of Art. But at times they start to get
เด็กเยอะเลยเนี่ยไอ้เหี้ยเจเรมี่ก็เด็กหน่อยเจเรมี่ตอนแรกเป็นซิกแมนแต่ตอนหลังมาโหดเลย
So I do wonder if it's going to be some of these early game nerves. Frost alongside Jovi with a quick intervention back in just to keep their heads on their shoulders.
Yeah.
See if that's going to be enough.
And for me as well, like when I saw this veto, I was a little bit concerned for Talon.
ทำไมถึงเอาเลน่าออกครับพี่บัตมันน่าจะมีบั๊กครับผม
You know, a 13-1 loss, right, in previous rosters. So I think you do start to have a little bit of, you know, rep concern of them. Have they been really practicing this, or have they been more going towards the other maps in the pool?
Do wonder. They did leave it open though, so you gotta imagine maybe they do have something. And this comp at least alludes you to thinking that this is a very deliberate setup right now, especially with the coach timeout being called, the adjustments being sent over onto extreme ends of the map, especially with the outlaw as well. Okay, just to try to deter Team Secret from heading down B any further.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what 2G is going to be able to do. You know,
เอา
Astra's
PDC
autonomy
แทนครูดีไหมครับ
actually spotted on out, so maybe you look to get overwhelmed a little bit, but you definitely have to get out of there. I was trying to say I want to see what timing you can try and find to get on up, but now he's just going to keep
ไหนจะสื่อสารกับโค้ดอีกอะ
be something tailing towards the B
สื่อสารกับโค้ดอีกอะทนแรงด่าแม่งอีก
Recall the star, but actually just puts it all the way up. So those two players, you know, Primi alongside Jit Boys will have to stay tucked in on B. Meanwhile, Team Secret still
ดูครั้งแรกของหนูเลยวาโลใช่ไหมครับใช่ครับผม
towards mid, but they do want to watch out for some of the Vi's utility, for example. They've
เอาไอ้ตาลไปแทนครูได้ไหมบาสเกตโนหนึ่ง
30 seconds to go.
เฮ้ยเหี้ยให้มัน
And this
อ
is
ยู่ค
going
อน
to
โด
be
ไป
no time for everybody to dump a lot of these ultimates in towards the A side. But the spike didn't mean
Oi!
by Mike out. It's 4 so far.
And it's just everything
Oi!
done to this A site. The Hunter's
โอ้ย
Fury,
ที่
though,
บ้า
does
จั
do
ด
its
ไอ้เหี้ย
job.
แม่
And
ง
at
สวน
the
เขาส
same
มอง
time,
พอ
for
ดีไม่งั้น
Envy
แม่ง
to
ส
find
วย
a bit of
สั
a
ตว์
frag. With that, a lot of space on the other end of the Cosmic Divide, though. Talon looks to set themselves up. The spike will get planted, but can Team Secret stabilize? That is the question. Bit of an op. Cruise with possible utility coming online as well. Jit Boys just trying to get ahead, but instantly gunned down. Gotta imagine where some of the Team Secret players could be playing as well. So setting up for some of it, but on the timing, kill being picked up alongside Jesse Vash with a sudden peek out.
It was the
clone that he ended up shooting in that one, and I actually thought that there was an immediate counter ult to come on through, but there was only 3 in towards the mix. Yeah, more importantly, the Nightfall I thought would have been a little bit more valuable towards the site instead of towards Art. Didn't really feel like that worried Team Secret too much when that comes in. Able to bring out their own Cosmic Divide. You got a Hunter's Fury in towards the mix as well, but importantly, it wasn't a lot of those ults and abilities getting it all done. Envy, a lot of the kills to come on through. He's tearing things up at the moment.
They also just got them into sight. Who has been finding the frags, always a sharpshooter, whichever role he's playing on. Sometimes the initiator is always one of the best players that we have here. So, as the next round heads on up, we are nearing this end of the first half, and still Talon continue to swap their positions around, you know, trying to control mid a little bit further. But Team Secret, they're just avoiding it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about some space management at the moment, you're going to get some value from the ultimate orb over towards the A site. You're going to keep the members there a little bit interested and head on a swivel to make sure that there's no just blowout in towards the site. The Steel Garden for Envy can be quite powerful if they're afforded a lot of time and position gather an ability. You know, if Talon are spotted in towards mid doors or spotted over peeking in towards Art was going to be my second one as Primi just does that. It makes it quite difficult for Talon to get a good read at the moment.
Yeah, very much so. Read or no read, they just haven't been having a good time, especially in the early phases of the round. And with that now, a full B site hit coming through. Armageddon to deter it though.
Oh, Envy, is he actually stuck here? Yes, he is, unfortunately. And 2GE down for the count as well. Good little individual brilliance from Cruz. Teho just providing the destruction, and with 20 seconds to go, you're going to have to bully your way into this as Team Secret.
And that's exactly what they're looking to do. Throw their heads in for bits of swirlies or just to hurl some verbal attacks down in towards Team Secret's way. Still though, you got no utility. Trying to play around it. And that's exactly it. Without the utility, it's definitely going to be a little bit tough, but still Wild Oreo looking to shoot his way out of this range. Swaps over onto the Headhunter and does find the pick. Okay. Trip right underneath just to get some information. Killa goes to stick it half.
Killua again.
To find the headshot against Wild Oreo. That's a twist and lick for you right there.
No utility, but does not matter for Talon. They'll just have every gun ripe and ready for the kills. I thought maybe for Wild Oreo that was actually going to be doable, right? He's able to awkwardly get the first kill in the 1v1.